You've seen them everywhere, right? Those clear, almost invisible trays that promise a perfect smile. But have you ever stopped to think about how they actually work? It's not magic, I promise. It's some really cool biology mixed with some seriously impressive engineering. Today, we're going to dive deep into the science of how these clear aligners can literally move your teeth. Yeah, I mean, think about it. How can a thin piece of plastic, something you can just pop in and out, move a tooth that's set firmly in your jawbone? It sounds a little crazy, but the answer is this amazing partnership between cutting-edge technology and your body's own natural built-in processes. Okay, so before we get down to the nitty-gritty, the microscopic level, let's zoom out for a second. Think of this whole thing as a high-tech smile makeover. It all kicks off with a digital scan of your mouth, which creates this super predictable, step-by-step roadmap to your final smile. And what's so wild about this is that the aligner isn't doing all the heavy lifting itself. It's more like a coach or a guide. It applies this gentle but super consistent pressure, and in response, your body kicks off a very specific, totally controlled reaction. So we're not talking about brute force here. It's more like a precisely planned, well, a biological conversation with your bones. All right, time to put on our imaginary lab coats and zoom way in. We're going from that big digital plan you see on a computer screen right down to the cellular level, to what's actually happening inside your jaw. This, my friends, is where the real action takes place. Okay, so meet the real MVP of this whole operation, the periodontal ligament, or PDL for short. Now, just think of it as this tiny, shock-absorbing cushion, like a network of fibers that holds your tooth in its socket. This is the soft tissue engine that feels the pressure from the aligner and basically tells your body, all right, it's time to get to work. And this is where your body's own little construction crew comes in. It's incredible. So when the aligner puts pressure on one side of the tooth, it squishes that PDL. That sends a signal to a crew of specialized cells to come in and clear away a tiny bit of bone, literally opening up a path. Then, as the tooth moves into that new space, the PDL on the other side gets stretched. That's the signal for a different crew to come in and build new bone, locking the tooth into its new spot. It's this constant, super slow motion cycle of demolition and construction that makes it all happen. And we're not just talking about a simple push or pull. Oh no. Modern aligners are engineered to do a whole symphony of different movements. We're talking about tilting a tooth, rotating it on its axis, even moving the entire tooth, root and all, through the bone. Every single aligner you wear is programmed to perform a very precise combination of these actions. Okay, let's zoom back out from the microscopic world and talk about what this all looks like from your perspective as the patient. What is this journey actually like? Well, it's a really clear, digitally mapped path from that first appointment to your final smile. So the whole thing is laid out with insane digital precision. It all starts with a consultation and a 3D scan. That scan gets fed into some seriously smart software that simulates every single tiny tooth movement from beginning to end. Once you and your orthodontist approve that plan, you're in the active phase. You'll wear each set of aligners for a week or two, and each one is a new step in that pre-planned journey. Of course, you'll have checkups to make sure everything's going according to plan, all leading up to the final and most important stage, retention. That's how you lock in that brand new smile. Now, look, it's easy to just focus on how great a straight smile looks, but there is so much more going on here. We're also talking about the actual function of your bite. And we have to talk about your role in all this. Let's call it the patient's pact. You know, having a properly aligned bite isn't just about aesthetics. It's fundamental to your overall health. When things are out of whack, it can lead to all sorts of issues. Jaw pain, teeth wearing down unevenly, even trouble chewing or speaking clearly. So a huge goal of aligner treatment is fixing things like overbites or crossbites to give you a healthier, more functional bite for the long haul. And this is your side of the bargain, the patient's pact. This number is everything. 20 to 22 hours. For that gentle, continuous force to actually do its job and signal that bone remodeling crew, the aligners have to be in your mouth for 20 to 22 hours a day. It's the one thing that makes or breaks the treatment. Seriously, it's non-negotiable. So, like with any medical treatment, you've got to weigh the options, right? The pros are pretty obvious. They're way less noticeable than braces, you can pop them out to eat whatever you want, and the whole process is planned with incredible digital precision. But the cons, well, they all come back to that patient pact. It takes real discipline, and let's be honest, they're not the right tool for every single orthodontic case, especially the really complex ones. Okay, so you did it. You've gone through all your aligners, you've been disciplined, and your teeth are perfectly straight. You're done, right? Well, not quite. This brings us to the final step, and honestly, it might just be the most important one of all. You have to remember this. Your teeth have a memory. Yep, those same ligaments and fibers that allowed your teeth to move, well, they have a natural tendency to want to pull everything back to where it started. So the retention phase, wearing a retainer, is all about fighting that biological memory and making sure your results stick around for good. So when you think about it, your active treatment, the part with all the aligner trays, that journey has a clear end date. But the commitment to your new smile, that continues. Your retainer basically becomes your smile's new best friend, making sure that all the science, all the technology, and all your hard work pays off for the rest of your life. So there you have it. It's this incredible partnership between our own biology and really precise digital planning. It's amazing stuff. And it just gets you thinking, right? As this technology gets even smarter, even more predictable, what's the next big frontier for orthodontics? What's coming next?